electoral office, awaiting the arrival of His Excellency the President, Julius Maada, as in the camp for me and to serve President the second term under the Leone People's Party ticket. Everything is set. Chief Electoral Commissioner is here. Of course, NGC team, former Vice President Victor Bokarifo, several other dignitaries are here awaiting the arrival of His Excellency the President, who is expected to enter the hall anytime from now to be nominated under the Salone People's Party ticket to serve as presidential candidate for the 2023 elections. SLPP National Women's Leader, the Chief Minister, and several other dignitaries all who are awaiting the arrival of His Excellency the President. Of course, it's the national chairman. Majestically and the Vice President to be nominated today.
Excellency, President, presidential candidate, Slpp, Honorable Vice President, Vice Presidential candidate, and Presidential entourage. Good afternoon and welcome to the Ecsl. On behalf of the Board of Commissioners, management and staff of the Ecsl, I want to welcome all of us here for this nomination of the presidential and vice presidential candidates of the Slpp. Nomination is a process by which qualified persons intend to contest elections are selected and their names, photos where applicable, and symbols are captured to be printed on the ballots. For this presidential nomination process, the legal provisions are enshrined in Section 43 to 46 of the Public Elections Act 2022. Nomination of presidential and vice presidential candidates, filling of nomination papers, payment of nomination fees, certificate of provisional and final certified list that will be presented. Let me also take this opportunity to inform all that as we do presidential nomination here, at district level, all 16 electoral districts, nominations for MP are going on. Let me also take this opportunity to inform all that the citizens observer teams are here. Let me recognize the network of elections observers, Leone, National Election Watch, and of course the media. For the nomination process, it goes like this. We have, well, let me take this opportunity to before I go through an overview, to formally introduce to you the Board of Commissioners. The Chief Electoral Commissioner as Chairman, who also doubles as National Returning Officer. That role which is going to perform here is Commissioner Mohamed Kediri Kone. We also have in our midst the Board of Commissioners. I will start with the immediate assisted Commissioner Zainab Musi, Commissioner for the Western Area. On her immediate right, Commissioner for the Southern Region, Commissioner Sylvester Alpha. Immediately after, Commissioner for the Eastern Region, Commissioner Imam Israel. Again, another electoral commissioner for the Northern Region, Commissioner Abubakar Kuruma. And last but not least, Commissioner Albert Samba Kanu. Let me also take this opportunity to recognize the presence of the chairman of PPRC, Commissioner Julius. For the nomination process proper, we have 3 stages. Stage 1 is the reception stage, which after the overview, the presidential and vice presidential candidates will have to go over there just at the back. That is the reception area, where documents are submitted and the reception officer will receive the documents, check and confirm all necessary documents, and verifies physically the voter registration cards. Thereafter, we have another level, which is the scrutiny officer. We have 2 officers. One is going to be online verification, where the voter ID cards will be submitted and we will do the online verification. Also, part of the scrutiny is to check if nomination fees have been paid, then receipts will be issued. After all of these processes, the presidential and vice presidential candidates, after having moved from the reception point to the scrutiny point, they will have to come here again to sit and face the national returning officer, who will further do verification of all the documents and, of course, sign and issue the provisional nomination. Thank you very much. I'll hand over to the Chief Electoral Commission.
Thank you, Albert. Thank you. Let me take the opportunity on behalf of the Electoral Commission, both staff and the Commission, to welcome His Excellency and the flag bearer for the Sierra Leone People's Party, and he's running it. The process is simple. We started yesterday. After you've gone through the process, I have a simple question. We want commitment and affirmation that all of us, including the Electoral Commission, will follow and do our best to maintain peace in the process of the electoral election, in the process of the elections. So at the end of the day, Sierra Leone will remain a peaceful country. But you will have the opportunity to talk on that after you've gone through the process of signing, through the verification process. Thank you. We can now proceed to the next stage of the nomination. Albert.
Yes, only the presidential and vice presidential candidates will be. Welcome to the reception desk. Can I have a submission of all of the documents? Thank you. The role of the reception officer is to check that all necessary documents have been submitted, and I can confirm and affirm that all necessary documents have been submitted. May I kindly ask that Your Excellency and Honorable Vice President to move to the other stage on level. Thank you very much. Please. The scrutiny officer has just observed that there is a document here where the leader and chairman and Secretary General are supposed to sign. Can the leader and chairman and Secretary General please do? Thank you very much. Then may I also ask that the ID cards, the voter registration cards of presidential and vice presidential candidates and the nominators be submitted. Thank you. Okay. Yes, on the CPCs for the endorsed candidates, the law makes provision for the leader, also chairman and secretary general.
Yes, give me 7 seconds. So, Victor, give me authority for sign.
Fully granted.
Thank you.
Very good, very good.
Yes.
His Excellency the President, Maada is getting nominated today as the ECS of office as he seeks the second term in office as President of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
The chairman.
Through the Sierra Leone People's Party.
The president. Not the candidate, not the president.
Smiling faces across the hall.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellency, sir, we launched the online nomination system to make sure we validate candidates before going through the nomination process. And this scrutiny officer, basically what we do is to check the system whether the party has indeed endorsed and also nominate the candidate for the 2020 election. And immediately after that, we get to the system to cross-check whether the detail has been submitted. If not, they have to go back and wait. That's a requirement for the online system. So this is the platform we are going to use for us to just check whether indeed His Excellency and President candidate has been endorsed by the Slpp People's Party. On our far right here, you can see approved nomination. Before we do that, we are going to view the list. So we go, we say approve nomination. The next thing we do, we go to this portal and then we select presidential. And then for the presidency, there is no specific district. So what we have here is you have the political parties all listed. We select the Slpp People's Party for today. And then we confirm that indeed we want to approve the nomination of the Slpp People's Party candidates. And then we click, indeed we confirm, and we can see that indeed His Excellency, the President and presidential candidate has indeed been nominated by the Slpp People's Party through our online. So basically what I'm going to do as the National Scrutiny Officer, I'm going to now approve using the online system. So I'm going to check that box on it. It says approve the candidate. But before doing that, I have received the payment receipt. I have also received the endorsements, which was also generated from the same portal. And before going through this portal, the system checks to make sure, one, that you are a registered voter, you are a Salonian, you have met the age bracket, and every other stuff. So they have gone through that through this portal. So without much ado, I will now approve the nomination.
Did you ask me?
When the National Scrutiny Officer does not. So, and then, ladies and gentlemen, it's now approved that the candidate's nomination approved. I will now do the printout of that information, which will be sent to the National Returning Officer for the certification.
How much did they pay?
Sorry, the prescribed fee anyway. Not more.
Yes, that's 6,000.
I have to take them to my boss, and then he will know exactly who.
Just check.
May I kindly ask His Excellency and the Honorable Vice President to come to me that the officially started. Another process is for the submission of photo for the presidential candidate submitted. All right, Chief Electoral Commissioner, National Returning Officer. After verifying the details of the presidential and vice presidential candidate for the Slpp People's Party, being vetted through our online portal, I hereby submit the printout
which have been delegated from the state for your consideration. Thank you, sir.
Snap me, I find you.
Excellency, I've seen the document, but there are certain areas that we need to sign together, which we are going to get. Before I accept the nomination papers, we need to sign this document. Thank you.
And this is supposed to be snapping now.
the nominees present here? The nominator, sorry. Umaru Napoya Kuruma. Maada Kanabo. And Dr. Alex Hadi. Alex Hadi. By the constitutional powers conferred on me as National Returning Officer and under Section 43 and 44 of the Public Elections Act, Act number 17 of 2022, having received your nomination as presidential and vice presidential candidate to whom these nomination papers relate, and to which you have stated that you are qualified and not qualified for election to the office of President and Vice President, respectively, of the Republic of Sierra Leone by the statutory declaration therein, I hereby professionally accept your nomination to contest for the above office, pending any objection to the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone. Congratulations.
We have to clear this. The presidential candidate and the chief electoral commissioner. The chief electoral commissioner will hand over documentation. Both the presidential and vice presidential candidates. After the chief electoral commissioner would have handed over the nomination papers, the chief electoral commissioner indeed has said that the presidential candidate will have to make a statement. After that, the presidential and vice presidential candidates will sit again and give the opportunity to the presidential candidate to address this gathering regards the request that the CC made earlier. His Excellency has also consented to engage with the press. He will be seated after if the commissioner so wish, after they would have left, the members of the press will use the other end of the table. The presidential and vice presidential candidates will be seated whilst members of the press will over them.
I've just signed the provisional acceptance of the nomination papers. As I mentioned earlier, for the public to have confidence that all the political parties and key players that going to participate in the process, all of us, including the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, are committed to ensuring free and fair and peaceful elections. Yesterday we asked the same question. His Excellency and presidential candidate, we want a confirmation or affirmation from you with regards to conducting the peaceful elections. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and the Board of Commissioners, staff of Ecsl. I think I will take this moment first to commend you and thank you for a job well done. This institution has presided over several elections, most of which have been seriously contended, but you've been able to present a credible result to this nation, and that is why we are peaceful. As the presidential candidate and president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, my record for peaceful behavior and conduct is beyond reproach. I have fought for Sierra Leone at the war front, fought for Sierra Leone on the peace table, and I will continue not only to fight for its development, but also for its peace, development, and security. Therefore, before this whole nation, I commit that I, as presidential candidate of the great Sierra Leone People's Party, will conduct a free and fair election through the Ecsl, and that I will do everything in my powers to make sure that we have a peaceful election. I have been here 3 times in the past to be nominated, and my record is quite clean as far as my conduct is concerned, when it relates to peaceful conduct as a person and also of my party. And that is what I will commit again today to this nation, that we need a peaceful election and that we all have to commit to that peaceful election. And I, as the president, we state before this whole nation that I will do everything in my powers to make sure that 2023 election is peaceful. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, presidential candidate for the Sierra Leone People's Party. And now officially hand over the provisional certificate of registration.
Your Excellency and Honorable Vice President, you may return to whilst we are all seated, we can give opportunity to the media to ask questions whilst all of us are seated.
We'll start with Umar Fofana.
Mr. President, congratulations on the nomination. Thank you. Mr. President, how apprehensive are you ahead of the elections? You are facing the people again.
I'm not apprehensive at all. I face this election with the same confidence that I've always had, knowing that I've always given myself up for this nation. Like I said earlier, fought for this nation and continue to fight. And I know the people are a better judge than most of us. So they are there to judge what I've done, and I face them with confidence that I am going to win this election.
One of your reasons for probably so thinking is the fact that you forged alliances recently with some of the political party players. And your main challenger, Samora Kamara, says it's all a lip alliance and it doesn't hold water.
Well, I'm in alliance with the NGC party, a great party that has shown itself over the period. I believe that there are progressives right around this country, scattered in all parties. People who put the nation first. And I have said that approaching my second term, I am going to approach all of these progressives right across all the parties, including the APC, so that we can work for the peace, unity, and development of this nation. I don't have an agenda for 1961. My agenda is looking forward, taking this nation into the fourth industrial revolution. So I believe that I can't do it alone. And besides this, we all are apprehensive. Maybe when you use the word apprehensive, I was thinking that you would talk about how safe and secure people are going to be. People are a little apprehensive whenever we talk about elections. That is because bad politicians have played around the ethnic card, which makes people scared and even afraid to go to the polls. We are forging relationships right across, and it's not just the alliance that you can see that we have officially signed. I'm in alliance with key APC progressives like Dr. Fo, Bokari Fo, who has come over to the SLPP. Alhaji Alpha Khan, a progressive who has come over to the SLPP after having spent almost all their lives in the APC. They have realized that the programs I have put forward are for this nation. And whether they are coming from the north, the west, or the east, we have only one Sierra Leone, which is the Republic of Sierra Leone. And therefore, whatever it takes, if we have to put aside our own egos, which is what Dr. Kande Yunkara said he is doing, and that is what we are doing. And that is why he's present here. And that is why Dr. Fo is present here. Alpha Khan could not come because of the numbers. But besides these gentlemen, fine gentlemen, who are beginning to understand the need for us to put Sierra Leone as at the forefront of everything we as good politicians do, we have many more scattered in the country and who are coming in their numbers, leaving the All People's Congress to come to join the Sierra Leone People's Party because of simply the program. We had put out a social contract and we have kept to the social contract. Gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you and commend you for the bold and audacious decision to come over to another party after having spent 60, 70 years of your life in another party. Now I know Sierra Leone is ready to go forward. So that is why I'm not apprehensive. That is why I'm confident that we are going to have a peaceful election. And that is why I urge all peace-loving Sierra Leoneans to come together to support peaceful elections this time.
If these elections were conducted on the economy, what would you tell Sierra Leoneans? What would you tell the voters in view of the harsh economic reality?
Well, I will say to Sierra Leoneans, when I came in, I inherited a very bad economy. One that was characterized by corruption, one that was characterized by high debt, a low growth rate, poor public management, financial management. We were considered the most corrupt country, one of the most corrupt countries in the world. But if you, a year later, we had almost reduced inflation to a single digit. Financial management was so good that we were able to launch the free quality education in less than a year from the loopholes that we were able to close. We were able to go back into the program with the IMF, which had shunned us and left this country because of the same corruption. And before the APC left, they had already stated that we are in austerity as a nation. That was what I inherited, with nothing in the coffers. And within a year, we were able to embark on very expensive national but needed programs which have survived and thrived and succeeded today. So this is what I will say to Sierra Leoneans. The economy is tough. I can understand your pain. Things are expensive, but I want to say it is not only in Sierra Leone. The world is going through turbulent times, and we are an integral part of the world. We cannot escape this. Having said that, we as a government have done everything to cushion the effects of that global headwind, which we can even bigger nations with stronger economies have not been able to resist. But we have taken away most of the taxes to make sure that you don't feel the weight of it. But it's what I would call a polycrisis, started by COVID, exacerbated by supply chain disruptions, and of course compounded by the Ukraine-Russia war. So the world is in turmoil, and because of the interconnectedness of the world, and because we are so reliant on exported goods, even onion we import into this imported goods, we are definitely facing the wrong end of this whole saga. And therefore, I just want Sierra Leoneans to know that we have done great, but we are going against a very serious international crisis that has diminished the effects of what we have done. But even with that, I want to say the economy has been handled properly, and that is why the IMF would come back to Sierra Leone, and that is why they are still with us. And we have gone through the crisis without scarcity of essential commodities, because we have put in place serious measures to make sure that our people do not run out. Yes, it is expensive because we are not producing it. Most of what we are consuming are being imported from different parts of the world where things are extremely difficult, where freight has been very expensive, and so we have this gamut of factors that have just been out of control. I will appeal to Sierra Leoneans that with the commitment we have shown, it is unfortunate that we have an international situation that has basically reversed the gains. But I want you to know that when we talk about education, which is laying the foundation for sustainable development in this country, we are regarded to have made the greatest effort under the most difficult circumstances. Health, we have just been informed that we have reduced maternal and infant mortality rate by a whopping 60%. And as I speak to you, the WHO is here not only to commend us, but to also ask us to teach other parts of the world who are struggling with that. This is the biggest jump, and it is so phenomenal, and I think that this quantum leap cannot happen without policies and good governance. We have consistently passed the score of corruption, the corruption index, as far as the MCC is concerned and other institutions are concerned, which means from 2018, when I took over, we took over when the Sierra Leone was scoring 47%. Today, we are in the 80s. This is progress. So, in the midst of all that is happening, we are making progress. But we have the economies of the world, even the biggest economies, even the strongest, are struggling. Who are we not to struggle? But that is not my excuse. I am working to make sure that I cushion the effects of what is happening around the world so that Sierra Leoneans can at least cope and have a piece of bread and butter.
Finally, from me, you spoke about the human capital development, namely education, when you were campaigning.
The platform remains the same. Education is part of the human capital. And when we talk about human capital, the human being cannot exist without good health, food security, and in the 21st century and going forward, sound education. We have, because of limited resources and time, and with all what is happening around the world, concentrated heavily on education. This time around, While we consolidate the gains in education, we are now going to shift to food security, agriculture and food security. And this is meant not only to provide food for us, but also to serve as the engine of economic growth, broad-based development, because more than 60% of our people are involved in agriculture, and therefore boosting activities in that area is actually going to lead to helping more than 60% of the population. So that is the challenge, and I invite all Sierra Leoneans to join me in that forward move.
Mr. President, the presidential candidate,
I've faced him before, and the records are there. I'll face him again if there is a debate. But I'm not ready to go back to 1961.
Thank you very much. We've come to the end of this nomination process. Thank you very much for coming and have a wonderful day.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is
Shall
how
we all
President
still remain seated whilst
being successfully nominated as the CSL office in Sierra Leone. Continue to give you updates as and when it happens.
Thank you.